Here we go. You are watching or listening to The Erin Chase Show, where we chat all things intentional living and how we can achieve that ever elusive balance in our busy and overwhelming lives. I am your host, Erin Chase. I am here with you live every Tuesday, most Tuesdays, sharing just different things that we can be doing in our lives to be more intentional and be reaching towards our goals. And in May, I'll have 3 episodes for you in May, today, in 2 weeks, and in 3 weeks. And we are going to be talking all about habits and routines. I'm super excited about this one because I think that habits and routines are the foundation for living an intentional life. And I think that they are easy to overlook. I think they're especially easy to overlook in this last 365 days plus a month, or however long it's been now that we've been living in challenging season. It drags on, and I think it's really important that we take a look, and I'm going to share some of the things that I do in a way to inspire you, but I don't want you to get completely overwhelmed by this. I want you to think small. I want you to think little changes, okay? Because if we try to do too many big changes, we will dig ourselves into a big mess and overcomplicate things. So I'm going to just start off by saying that. So today we're going to look at habits and routines and the morning routine. And then in episodes later in the month, we will look at mealtime routines, of course, because dinner is my jam around here. And we're also going to look at evening routines and just other routines that, exist in our day. And, whether it's laundry. Do you have a laundry routine? Some days, some weeks I do, some weeks I don't. I wish there was a laundry fairy. Anyway, actually, we're working on that. The boys are working on that. But all that to say, first, let's kick it off with what is a habit. A habit is something that is done without thinking, habitual, something that you just do without thinking. There's generally a cue or a trigger involved in a habit. One of my grocery shopping habits is when I get to the checkout line, I'm like, ew, I'd love a Twix bar right now. No, I don't need a Twix bar right now, but something about wheeling your cart around and going up into the checkout lane, I'm like, Twix bar, please. It's like a cue, trigger. Do I buy it or do I not? 95 out of 100 times I don't buy it. Okay. But you get the idea. So a habit is something you get cued or triggered, and then you react and behavior happens. That is often done without thinking. Of course, habits can be good and they can be bad. So what is a routine? A routine is my definition of a routine, and I think a lot of people or experts on the subject would agree, is it's a string of habits, or there's a book called Habit Stacking. I'm going to mention that in a little while, and the author and all that. Stacking habits together becomes a routine, if you will. So you do certain things in an order. You have all these things you do every morning is your morning routine. You do them without thinking. Okay. Same thing, the things that you do in the evening, you do those, you just do them. You wash your face, you brush your teeth, you try to put your phone and charge your phone in the other room. We'll get there. I'm getting way ahead of myself here. So a routine, I think, as things that you're doing habitually that are kind of grouped together. The laundry routine would be, gathering dirty clothes, starting the whites, setting aside the darks, setting aside the towels for the next loads, running the loads, and then putting them all away. That's actually a routine that is kind of inevitable, but most of us break down at some point in that routine. I know I do. Okay. So, I want to share, today about morning routines, and really quickly, I'm going to rant. I don't mind. I don't do this very often, but I want to just go on a teeny tiny little rant. There are a lot of people who teach about morning routines. There are a lot of people who say you have to get up at 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. Okay. No. Those people are morning people. My husband is one of these people. He's a 5 a.m. up and does his morning routine. And those people have slept a full night sleep. Translation, don't have young children. So There might be a couple of people who do have young children and they're going to be the anomaly, or they're going to bed at like 7 o'clock. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with those things, but I personally don't want to learn from somebody who doesn't have any children and who is a morning person, because I'm not a morning person and I have 4 kids, and my morning routine consists of getting them out the door. Okay. And then I can start into my morning routine. So I find it so cute that the only way to do a morning routine is to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and leisurely have your cup of coffee and then read your Bible or your meditation book or whatever it is that you're working on. No. Okay. So rant over. Don't mind me and my little rant. So what I want to share with you though is it is important. The underlying of all of that is it is important to have a routine in the morning to set yourself up for the day. Okay. Now that doesn't have to happen at 5 o'clock in the morning. You're welcome for giving you that permission. I gave myself that permission a long time ago after being frustrated by said rant that I just finished. So, but it is important to set yourself up for success, because if you're going to live with intention, you do need to have some sort of a setup for the day. And so I think some things to include in a morning routine that are really important, I think revolve around your mind and your body. We're coming awake. We are, transitioning from being asleep to being awake and then getting ourselves ready for the day. And so I'm not going to give you a script or a set thing to do, but I want you to think about what you can do for your mind and your body to get ready for your day. So your body, it could be, I'm just going to throw out a couple of random examples. It could be exercise, whether that's going for a walk or going for like a hardcore workout at the gym. It could be stretching. It could be yoga. It could be a little bit of like weight training with like a kettlebell or something that you have like that. So something for your body. I do think that is important to kind of wake up your body. Does this again have to happen at 5 o'clock in the morning? No, I go to the gym at 10 or 11:15 in the morning. Okay. Like it's not that early for me. But I do think it is important to get your body going, because when you get your body going, 100% everything, your energy comes up, your productivity comes up, like everything comes up when you get your body just moving a little bit. Other things for your body, nutritious breakfast, coffee or tea, like whatever that is for your morning routine. So think first is how you're setting your body up for the day, how you're going from dead asleep in your bed into moving about your day. Okay, so that's the first one. Second one is mind. And I think this is just a good mindset sort of thing. So reading scripture, working through a prayer journal, writing in your journal, keeping a gratitude journal, an affirmations journal, any of those types of things that are going to set your mind straight, help you keep all the negative mental chatter away, whatever that is for you, meditation. There's lots of different things that are available for you to set into your morning routine. But I want you to think about those 2 things specifically for your morning routine, is mind and body. Now, if you're working, I'm going to share this with you. This is my daily setup. This is actually, I don't know how well you can see that. Sort of. Hang on, I'm going to be really, really zoomy. Ooh, yeah, that's not so bad. Can you all see that okay? Okay, hey guys, thanks for chiming in. Okay, so this is what's happening for me today. This is my daily setup, and this is something that I do every morning. Hey, Leah. So you can see here today, it's Teacher Appreciation Week, and my son filled out a little gratitude card this morning. So I just kind of kept on that same wavelength and just being grateful for teachers and being grateful that our boys have been in in-person learning for so much of this year. The other things that I have happening today. So I think this is a really good sort of mindset. I'm going to teach you this really quick. This sets me straight, having this thought of gratitude and then this affirmation. So today I am focused. I set some new goals for myself in business goals for myself in the beginning of March, and I'm still inching my way there. And I'm super, like, two of the things that I have done today are helping me to meet those goals. Okay, so my affirmation for today is I am focused. I have all day at home to work on all these things, and so I'm being super focused. So I also have on here other things happening, phone calls I need to make, emails. I actually have no errands today, which is amazing. I love it when I have a day where I can just get so much work done. And then other notes, I need to ask my son about the baseball celebration happening later. So anyways, but here's, and then of course, food and water intake is there at the bottom. So I know what we're having for dinner at the beginning of the day. Okay, so the blue boxes that you see, those are super important, I think, for developing habits and routines, especially with projects. And I've talked about this on the Erin Shea Show in season 3, but I want to break it down for you again here. I think this is probably when people say, how do you get so much done? I think this is why. How do you accomplish so much? How do you produce so much? How do you, this is why. Because I have become, sorry, I'm trying to do this backwards and I have a hurt finger. This right here is being able to have this priority and then breaking it apart into mini tasks has been so essential to the success that I want to say I've had. How do I say that humbly? So I did a video right before this. I had to shoot it. I've already uploaded it. And then the last part of it is to get it into the email that will go out tomorrow to those of us those of my friends that are in the challenge. I also have some emails that I need to write. So that's the second blue box. And then the third blue box, I'm trying to read this backwards through the video, is, a bunch of videos that I did last week. I still need to get those ready and out there. So this is really, really, this is, if anything, this is a really great habit to get into. Okay, that's one of the reasons I shared this. One, because doing a daily setup like this really sets you up for having a fabulous day. And two, the habit, and that almost ends up developing into these little routines in your workday of taking a bigger task or bigger priority and breaking it up into pieces. Just makes it so much more manageable and doable, so you can get it accomplished. All right, so I just wanted to share that. I do have a link to the tear pads if you want these. I got them in our shop. You can check them out. Totally optional. So 2 books I wanted to recommend to you before I move on to the last parts of our episodes is Pie and Think, Feel, Take Action. 2 books that are really awesome for habits is Tiny Habits by BJ Fogg. Totally changed my life. I don't know, probably read it about 8 years ago. It's literally doing one little tiny change. I'm sharing my plan, implement, evaluate as one little change, because if you do too much, you won't be successful in the long run. And then 2 is the book Habit Stacking by S.J. Scott. Both of those are really fantastic if you want to learn more about habits. I've read a lot about productivity and habits, and those 2 books are by far my favorites. Okay, so for PIE is my acronym for intentional living. It's plan, implement, evaluate. So I want you to think about one small change that you can make. So when I read the book Tiny Habits, this is going to sound really kind of strange, but I'm going to share it anyways. When I read the book Tiny Habits, the thing that I decided I wanted to stop doing was when I would wash my face, I would take the towel and I would pull like this. And when you're not getting any younger, pulling on your skin is not a good idea. So my tiny habit change was to dab, like to just dry my face by dabbing. It sounds so simple, like that's such a minor change. But by just doing that one thing in my day, that stuck. And 8 years later, I'm still doing that. Okay, so total random example, has nothing to do with dinner. But I just wanted to share that was the thing I decided to change when I read that book, and it stuck. So I want you to plan one little habit that you could do differently for in your day, anywhere in your day, doesn't matter, work, personal life, face washing, laundry, dinner, whatever, doesn't matter. The second one, implement, is just do the thing. Just start dabbing your face or whatever it is for you. The third is evaluate. So plan, implement, evaluate. How is that going? You know, when I did the tiny habit approach, doing just that one thing, it just stuck. I'm still doing it. So, okay, what's going to be your next habit? Then start the pie again. Plan, implement, evaluate. Once you've decided that this is your habit, go on to planning again and coming up with a new little habit or a new change in your routine. And then think, feel, take action. I want you to think intentional. That's what I'm all about. It's probably my favorite word. If I had to pick a word, that's probably my favorite. I mean, I probably have more favorite words than that, but I want you to think intentional, and then I want you to feel accomplished. I am going to do this face dabbing habit. I'm just going to do it. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to focus on. This is the one thing. Maybe it's this whole situation of the prioritizing. I'm going to get better at taking a big project and breaking it down into littler tasks. That's just going to be the thing that I do, whatever it is. So intentional, accomplished, and then taking action is doing that one habit. That's it. One little thing, my friend. That's one little thing. I do not believe there is no such thing as small change. I believe that small change leads to big results. Or lasting results. In the case of the face dabbing. But you get the idea. So that's what I want you to think, feel, and take action. Think intentional and focused, feeling accomplished, and making that one little change to your routines and habits. Okay, last. Upcoming episodes, we're going to be talking about mealtime routines in 2 weeks, and then evening routines in 3 weeks on Tuesdays at 2 Central Time. So be sure to tune in for that. Of course, if you want to browse this Tarot Pad, we have a couple of other ones that I'll share more about with you as we move through the next couple of episodes. You can check those out in the store.erinchase.io. And then finally, please subscribe to the Erin Chase Show, whether you're listening here on a podcast player or watching live on Facebook or watching later on YouTube, wherever it is you are hanging out with me. I'd love for you to subscribe so you get notifications about future episodes when we go live. So yeah, habits and routines, the theme of May. I can't wait to share more with you about mealtime routines and evening routines. So for now, that's it. And I will see you in a future episode of the Erin Chase.